Let's be real for a second. Finding a true power bottom in a BL series is like finding a needle in a haystack, and frankly, it pisses me off. I don't know why us as Fujoshis haven't started a revolution to demand more bottoms who actually run the show. I'm talking about the ones who control every single breath their boyfriend takes. The ones who have these big, tough tops wrapped around their little finger, making them dance like puppets. It is so satisfying to watch a confident top or a player top completely lose his mind because he's so obsessed with his bottom. And look, before I even start, I already know there's gonna be that one guy in the comments screaming, no, 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 that's not what a power bottom is in the gay community. Listen to me, this video is not for you. We need to stop pretending that BL is a documentary on real life gay relationships. It's not, it's a fantasy. We are here for the fantasy of a bottom who mentally and emotionally dominates the relationship, okay? So if you can't separate fiction from reality, go ask ChatGPT what yaoi and BL means and leave us alone. And for the rest of us, let's get started. Let's start with a character who defines complex, Beam. Was it really Than's fault he fell for the anti-hero? Was it his fault he gave his heart to a man shaped fundamentally by violence? A man who learned that love and safety were just leverage in a power play? Pim is cold, calculative, and willing to cross any line to take what he believes is his. And Than, he's supposed to be the righteous police officer, but he can't help himself. He constantly ignores the law and forgives Pim's manipulation because he is completely blinded by his love and by pure desire. Than knows that if he goes against Pim, he loses the right to touch him, he loses the right to kiss and caress that gorgeous tattoo on his back. That physical addiction is so strong that he ends up running back to Pim every single time, even when he hates his methods. At first, Pim just saw Than as a pawn in his chess game, but slowly the reality hit him. All the success in the world, the hospital, the power, it means nothing if he was standing at the finish line alone. He realized he would lose everything just to keep Than by his side. Pim is a power bottom who commands the room, but Than is the one who balances his soul. Next, we have Sky, the textbook definition of a tsundere, but with so much pain hiding behind that sharp tongue. To the world, Sky is cynical, sassy, and fiercely protective of his best friend Rain. But what people don't see is the shattering trauma he carries in private. Alone in his room, Sky is fighting a war. Constant panic attacks, nightmares, and severe PTSD. He learned the hardest lesson a person can learn. Never trust anyone because the man he loved exploited his body and destroyed his soul. He built a fortress around his heart so no one could ever hurt him again. Then enters Prapai, a total playboy who lives by the motto, work hard, play harder. He races bikes, runs a business, and sleeps with whoever catches his eye. But one night, with Sky left a void in him that nothing else could fulfill. He didn't just want Sky in his bed, he felt this overwhelming need to protect him. Sky pushed him away, rejected him, and insulted him, but Prabhai never backed down. Even without knowing the dark details of Sky's past, Prabhai instinctively knew that behind all those rebuttals, Sky was just waiting for someone to finally be his safety net. Sky may have the attitude, but Prabhai became the shelter he didn't know he needed. If we're talking about power bottoms, we have to talk about the devil's advocate himself, Chan. This man is a ruthless, cold, cunning lawyer who made a career out of defending the wealthy and the wicked. And honestly, that signature terrifying smile of his lives rent-free in my head. How can someone be so charming and so genuinely scary at the same time? Chan is a realist who sees the world for exactly how dark it is. But against all odds, he falls for Tin, a pure idealist. He falls for him knowing damn well they shouldn't work. Like so many of our favorite power bottoms, Chan is shaped by trauma. But Tin becomes the one person who proves to him that goodness actually still exists. Because of Tin, Chan stops using his brilliant mind just for profit and starts using it to get actual justice for Tin's niece. He changes not because he has to, but because Tin shows him he doesn't always have to be the monster. Tin becomes his safe space, the one place where Chan can drop the terrifying act, lay it all bare, and be the person he buried a long time ago. Someone who actually wants to do good. Now we have to talk about Type, the classic university jock. He's athletic, loud, and aggressively defensive about his masculinity. He starts as a proud homophobe. Later, we find out this hate stems from severe childhood trauma and PTSD, which is a recurring theme for so many of our Sunre power bottoms. Even after getting together with Tan, Type struggles. He sees their relationship as shameful, something triggering that he has to hide. It took him a long, painful time to accept himself as a queer man. But what always stood out to me was just how volatile he was. Type is aggressively possessive. We rarely see bottoms who are this jealous. Usually that's the top's job. But Type, he would physically lash out, hit Tan, and curse him out at the drop of a hat. But here is the beauty of his growth. Tan's patience and love slowly evolved Type into a gentler human being. Tan softened him. He made him more accepting. And even though Type remained the most jealous person in the entire BL fandom, he was also the one who saved Tan's ex, protected him, and exposed his assaulter. He went from a hateful boy to a fiercely protective man, and that character growth is honestly impressive. Kioi is easily one of the most psychologically layered characters on this entire list. He is the classic gold prince straight out of a manga, aloof, superior, and untouched. He naturally rises above every single guy in his class, but that perfection is a trap. Nobody bothers to see that behind that cold exterior is a desperate fear of abandonment. He pushes people away before they can leave him. Then you have Hira, who worships the ground Kioi walks on. And while that constant admiration makes Kioi feel special, it also breaks his heart. Because once again, someone is only looking at his beauty, refusing to actually know him. Hira puts him on such a high pedestal that he can't reach him. Watching Kioi struggle is visceral. He resorts to these twisted bullying tactics just to get Hira's attention, practically begging him, please just see me as a normal boyfriend, not a god. And that is the tragedy of Kioi. He is an unwilling power bottom. He doesn't want to dominate, he wants to be held. He wants to be a submissive partner, but he's forced to take control because his boyfriend is too busy worshipping him to actually love him like a normal human being. Ray is arguably the only true red flag power bottom we've seen in a long time. Usually the walking disaster is the top, but Ray embodies that archetype perfectly. He is a mess of abandonment issues, substance abuse, and an obsessive, unrequited love for his friend Mew. And these three pillars of chaos are exactly how he managed to snatch Sand's soul and completely own him. Sand is a strong character on his own, but in front of Ray, he's powerless. Ray is a master of emotional manipulation. He uses that classic toxic tactic, showing just enough vulnerability to make Sand feel sorry for him, to make him want to fix him. And the second Sand's guard is down, Ray ditches him to go chase after Mew. For the longest time, Ray treats Sand like a placeholder, a substitute, completely destroying his pride and reducing him to a pitiful option. And the moment Sand tries to move on, Ray hits him with extreme, suffocating jealousy. It's brutal to watch. But as I always say, some people are put on this earth to help others heal their pain. Sand had to suffer, he had to break, just so he could be the one to finally heal Ray's trauma. So Shui is a power bottom by necessity, not by choice. He wears this mask of cold indifference like armor. He slaps Shide in public, acts like he couldn't care less if he lived or died, but let's be real, that's just a defense mechanism. He spent 5 years agonizing over an unexplained separation. 5 years after Shide love-bombed him and then just vanished. Shui had no choice. He had to pick himself up, glue his heart back together and pretend he was fine. But the tragedy and the beauty is that he's terrible at maintaining the facade. He tries so hard to be the angry, unbothered ex, but the second Shide reappears and shows even a crumb of vulnerability, Shui melts instantly. The walls come down and he lets him back in. Shide may have been the one who fell first, but without a doubt it was So Shui who fell harder. And now we arrive at the darkest entry on this list. How does a gentle, music loving prince turn into a broken man who weaponizes his own life for the ultimate revenge? Xiao Shuhei might actually be the ultimate power bottom here, simply because of how far he was willing to go. He started as a pacifist. He was content just playing music in his courtyard, living in luxury, hurting no one. His only crime was trusting his childhood love Duanzang blindly. He loved him with total innocence, and Duanzang took that gentleness and used it as a weapon to betray him and assassinate his brother, the king. But Duanzang made one fatal error. He mistook Shuhei's gentleness for weakness. Shuhei loved him more than life itself, but he refused to put that love above his kingdom and his blood. The betrayal broke him, but it also sharpened him. He knew exactly how much Duanzang loved him, probably more than anyone had ever loved anything. So Shuhei concocted the cruelest, most perfect revenge. He would kill himself. He knew the only way to truly punish Duanzang for destroying his world was to take away the only thing Duanzang ever cared about, Shuhei himself. Like I said earlier, some characters are put on this earth for one specific purpose: to force a scum gong through a painful redemption arc and hold him accountable for the rest of his life. That is Shulang. He forces Fen Shao to change not by fighting him but by simply being unshakable. Shulang is grounded, he's clear-minded, he's absolutely not someone Fen Shao can easily fool or manipulate. It was honestly satisfying to watch Fen Shao have to constantly escalate his tactics, sweating to keep up his gentlemanly facade just to get Shulang to look at him. And once Fen Shao actually fell in love, he handed Shulang the keys to his destruction. Suddenly, Shulang held all the cards, the power to reject him, ignore him, or completely destroy him emotionally. His refusal to be rattled by Fan Xiao's chaotic, unhinged energy is the ultimate form of dominance. His stability and maturity tamed the beast and made him the only person capable of handling Fan Xiao and actually making him a decent human being. Jie Rui is a high-ranking triad member. He's street smart, he can fight, and he's physically lethal. He is not a damsel in distress, he's a wolf who eventually decides to let himself be tamed. And that is the definition of power. His submission to Zhongyi is a choice, not a necessity. He holds the emotional reins not by force but by permission. He sees Zhongyi's stubborn, innocent determination to care for him, and instead of pushing him away, he lets him in. He allows Zhongyi to pursue him, to break down his walls, and eventually to love him. Even in the bedroom, Zerui is the one teaching the inexperienced Zhongyi how to be intimate, guiding him with patience. He's a dangerous man who permits Zhongyi to have him. He commands respect from terrifying gangsters, but at home, he softens completely. Fan Zerui proves that you can be the deadliest guy in the room and still be the one who wants to be held. Now I want to know who I missed. Who is the one power bottom that lives in your head rent-free? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you soon in my new video. Bye lovelies!